Still showing up as in the waiting room on my end. I'm not sure if they're in yet. Okay, so I think that sounds good to go. So yeah, hi everyone and welcome. We're really glad that you could join us today. We'll get straight into it. The session's all about what's changing in Scotland's workforce and how employers, including SMEs and public sector bodies, can respond. We're going to share some of the key findings from UWS's 2025 Employer Skills Survey, and then we'll spotlight some of the funded opportunities that are helping organisations build capability despite there being some barriers. And we're going to keep it short, practical, and we'll leave plenty of time at the end for discussion. So whether you're here to pick up new ideas or you're here to hear what's happening across different sectors, or you're just here to find out what support might be available to you, we hope you find it useful. And we'd love to hear your thoughts during the discussion. So, as I mentioned earlier this year, the UWS Centre for Continuing Professional Development carried out the second of our skill surveys, and that was following the inaugural survey in 2024. And the aim was to get a clear picture of the current and emerging skill strengths and use these insights to shape our course provision to effectively ensure that it's continuing to align with what industry really needs. And the survey also allowed us to track how skills gaps are evolving over time and identify where support is most urgently required. So at its core, the work of the UWS CPD Centre is focused on supporting both individual growth and helping organisations build resilience through focused upskilling. And we believe that by connecting learning directly to real-world organisational priorities, that we can aim to make a tangible difference to both employees and the wider workforce. So to give you a little bit of a snapshot of the survey, it captured responses from a broad range of organisations across 7 regions in Scotland and 11 sectors. And this gave us valuable insights into the current skills picture. So interestingly, 60% of the respondents came from small organisations. So that would be those with 1 to 49 staff. And what it highlighted was the perspectives of businesses that often have fewer dedicated resources for training and development. And of those respondents, 56% of those were senior leaders, including managers, directors, and C-suite executives. And a further 20% were HR or L&D professionals. So from those individuals, we managed to get a real mix of people to respond to the survey, and it helped us capture insights from both decision makers shaping the workforce strategy and professionals directly responsible for implementing learning and development initiatives. And these participants, they shared their first-hand experiences of the skills challenges facing organisations in Scotland in 2025. And it helped us to identify not just gaps, but practical ways to support organisations of all sizes. Taking that a step further, 80% of the respondents reported experiencing a skills shortage. So interestingly, this is actually 9% up from the previous year. So it's worrying in the sense that skills gaps are increasing, not closing over time. And it's no surprise that early career employees require the most training. And that highlights the importance of equipping school leavers and college or university graduates with industry-ready skills before they enter the workforce. But what was particularly striking was that 50% of employers identified a need for training for their managers and senior managers. So what we're seeing is that many individuals find themselves in management roles accidentally or reluctantly, and it's underlining the importance of ongoing development through an employee's career to ensure that they can lead teams confidently. In addition, 20% of respondents actually highlighted a need for training at the very highest levels of their organisation. And to us, that tells us that there's no role that's exempt from the need to evolve and upskill. And the survey also revealed that 70% of organisations have little or no staff development budget, and a further 60% rely on external funding. Only 1/3 reported that they carry out structured training needs analysis, and these are all barriers to effective workforce planning. We found that the top sectors represented in the survey were education, health and social care, business services, and manufacturing. And taking all of this together, the data points to a clear and growing leadership capability gap across all sectors. And the biggest challenge is how to address it efficiently, accessibly, and affordably. So in terms of in-demand skills, the findings highlight the areas where employers are seeing the greatest demand and where targeted training and development could make the biggest impact. So strategic thinking and project delivery increasingly depend on digital tools and data. And well-effective people management requires navigating hybrid work environments, and it also requires mastering digital communication platforms. So taking all of this together, it shows that employers are looking for well-rounded professionals. So individuals who can lead teams, they can manage change and deliver results, but they can also leverage technology to drive innovation and competitiveness in a rapidly evolving business landscape. And to meet these needs, there's a clear shift towards training that's flexible, short, and practical, and it's designed to fit around work and deliver real-world impact. So what does all of this mean for organisations? Well, from the responses that we received, it's clear to us that many organisations are relying heavily on in-house upskilling. And while this type of training is valuable and it helps employees grow within the organisation, it can be limited in scope, and it can often focus on immediate needs rather than long-term capability building for the organisation. At the same time, leadership and people management development are becoming critical at all levels. Increasingly, employees are stepping into management roles with little formal preparation, and organisations are recognising that effective leadership has a direct impact on team performance, staff retention, and overall organisational success. There's also a growing need for development that goes beyond technical skills. So organisations are asking for learning that supports culture and helps teams to integrate effectively and guides staff through change. So in other words, development that strengthens the way people work together, not just what they know how to do. And this is where flexible CPD can make a real difference. So by offering small, focused, high-impact learning opportunities that fit into the working week, organisations can address real priorities without disrupting day-to-day operations. It's about making the training practical and accessible, but also, most importantly, directly relevant to the role. And that means that employees can apply what they've learned immediately and start making a tangible difference to their organisation. So at the UWS CPD Centre, we're really proud of the breadth of skills and solutions that we were able to offer. There's something for everyone, no matter their sector, role, or stage in their career. And for organisations of all sizes across different sectors, it's not just one area or one company size that we work with. The portfolio that we have includes university credit-bearing modules, professionally accredited courses, and short non-credit-bearing options, which would be ideal for those quick focused upskilling needs. And we also deliver leadership and management development programs. So these would be tailored specifically towards your SMEs. So it's to help business owners and managers strengthen their leadership capability and ultimately build more resilient teams. I'd say importantly, many of these opportunities are also available with funding support. So that's to help make professional learning more accessible and sustainable for employers of all sizes, because as we've touched on, the funding side is a barrier for a lot of organisations. So in this case, if somebody's looking to build confidence, gain a recognised qualification, or develop the skills needed to lead change, the short courses that we have on offer are designed to make that big impact, both for the individuals but also the organisations that they're working within. We do offer a wide range of standalone university modules, as I touched on there. So these are designed to give learners flexibility and choice. They're available at undergraduate level, so that would be SEQF levels 7 to 10, and then postgraduate levels, which would be a postgraduate level, which is SEQF level 11. And the portfolio spans a broad mix of disciplines, so including, as we've touched on, the key areas like business and strategy, digital and IT, education and society, environment, sustainability, so on and so forth. There's a wide range there that you'll be able to see on the website. So there really is something to suit a wide variety of professional interest and development goals. And all of these modules, which is important to note here, they all sit within our formal university qualifications, including graduate apprenticeship programmes. And what that actually means for learners is they can start with one single module on a standalone basis, but they can also choose to build on that later if they enjoy the experience and they feel that a graduate apprenticeship or a full degree programme would really deliver that impact that they need. And they can also work towards exit awards. So, for example, a certificate of higher education or a postgraduate certificate. So each of these modules that are within the portfolio have been carefully curated to work well as a standalone option, addressing specific skills, targeted skills and knowledge needs if required. And many of them don't actually have any formal entry requirements, so that makes them quite accessible to professionals from different backgrounds, though there are some that may recommend prior experience or a relevant area of interest. It's a really flexible way to upskill. So, whether someone's looking to test the waters of university study, build knowledge in a specialist area, or take that first step towards a formal qualification, there's something there for everyone. In terms of another funded offering that we do have our UWS Skills Scholarships, and that's something we're really excited to be able to offer. So these pertain to selected CPD modules, more specifically the university modules, and that permits full funding. So there is eligibility criteria you can see on the screen there, but to put it broadly, if you haven't studied at UWS before and you're ordinarily resident in Scotland or the UK, ordinarily resident in Scotland on the relevant date, then you can get one module free. The way you would go about this is by simply going on the website, having a look at a module and registering your interest, and if you're eligible, we'll of course let you know. Aside from the university modules, we have professionally accredited short courses. So these are designed to provide learners with industry recognised skills and credentials that make a real impact in the workplace. They don't carry academic credit as the university modules would, but they're endorsed or accredited by respected professional bodies. So that ensures that they meet current industry standards and expectations. A couple of examples of these would be the Association for Project Management, APM, PRINCE2, Lean Six Sigma, Environmental Clerks of Work training. And what we feel makes these particularly valuable is their direct link to professional recognition. So many of the courses include the relevant professional exam, and that gives learners the opportunity to achieve formal certification as part of the training, which is quite nice. They're ideal for those who would want to strengthen their credibility or enhance their CV, or demonstrate their competence in key areas, all without the longer commitment of that full academic programme. We do also have other short courses, so in the field of non-credit bearing courses. These are some of the most agile and responsive learning opportunities that we offer. So they're designed specifically with in mind addressing real world skills needs, and they're often developed in direct response to priorities of a particular sector or group of employers. And the courses allow us to move quickly to collaborate with key stakeholders and funders to effectively co-create practical solutions that would have that immediate impact that's required. And by closely working with industry partners, it helps us ensure that each course is relevant, targeted, and accessible to the people who would benefit the most from them. A great example that we have right now is our Cultures and Leadership for Integration course. And that's been developed to support professionals working across integrated health and social care settings. So it focuses on developing collaborative leadership and culture change. And these are essential skills needed to make integration effective in practice. And it's with the support of the Scottish Government that we're actually able to offer limited funded, fully funded places across cohorts in January, February and March 2026. And the idea is that this helps widen participation and also make professional development more inclusive and attainable. And we strongly feel that this approach really captures what our non-credit bearing portfolio is about. It's about partnership, responsiveness, and creating that learning that meets people where they are, and actually tackling genuine challenges faced by Scotland's workforce today. Something else that we're excited to be able to offer is the Help to Grow management that's been running for quite a while. So this is one of our flagship leadership development opportunities that's always of particular interest to SMEs. It's designed to help business leaders strengthen their strategic skills, boost productivity, and drive that sustainable growth. So it's actually a UK government funded initiative with 90% of the cost being covered through that government support. But at UWS, we take that one step further by offering a bursary to cover the remaining £750 participant fee. And that makes the programme completely free for eligible businesses. The programme offers a rich, structured journey into leadership and business growth for the SMEs, mapped across 12 focused modules. So it starts with strategy and innovation and digital transformation, through to winning new markets, organisational design, and high-performance workplaces. And the course covers the full spectrum of those skills that growing businesses need to achieve. To take part in this, participants would need to be senior leaders or decision makers from small or medium-sized enterprises. So we're talking between 5 and 249 employees. And the business needs to have been operating for at least 1 year to take part. And each organisation can nominate one person to take part. But even better, businesses with 10 plus staff can actually nominate two. And the programme blends online and face-to-face learning over a 12-week period. And what it does is it combines expert-led sessions with peer learning and mentoring. So it's a really effective way to step back from day-to-day operations, reflect strategically, and actually build a stronger, more resilient business with that advice and skills and knowledge that you'll gain. The applications are open for the January cohort, so if you or someone in your network would benefit from that one, we'd encourage you to register early because the places do fill up quickly for this one. In terms of next steps, before we go on to start talking about questions, Q&A session, if you want to take part in any of this, there's a couple of next steps you could take. You could first explore the full range of courses that I've sort of gave a high-level overview of, and also view the funding options on a dedicated CPD website. So if you scan the QR code on the next page, that'll take you directly to it. And it's a great way to see what's available and just take some time to find detailed information about programmes that may be of interest to yourself. And if you'd like more personalised guidance, our team's always here to help, so you can discuss your organisation's needs and get advice on what courses might be the best fit for what it is that you need to target. You can also just send an email to the CPD mailbox, which is at cpd@uws.ac.uk. Just make sure to check the eligibility criteria and funding options for the course you're interested in. But like I said, if there's any questions or queries, we're happy to help. And I would say, finally, if you're going to apply for something, make sure to apply early to secure your place, because the spaces can fill up quick, especially for the funded programme that I've just discussed there, like Help to Grow management. So I would say that this is your opportunity to access high quality, flexible and practical CPD that can make a real difference for both the individuals in your organisation, but also more broadly, your organisation itself. And now that we've covered the main content, we'd like to open the floor for questions and discussions. So this is your chance if you have any questions to ask about specific courses or modules that might be relevant for your team or organisation. If you want me to clarify some of the funding and eligibility options that we've outlined there, because I'm aware it's a lot of information to take in over a brief amount of slides. You can also share any challenges or priorities you're facing that we could help address through CPD. And don't hesitate to ask anything, like whether it's a general question about a portfolio, something specific about a course, or guidance on funding. And we'll, of course, take as many questions as possible. And if there's any things that we can't cover today, we'll definitely make sure to follow up afterwards. So once again, thank you for taking time to join us today, and we do really appreciate your participation. I hope you found this session here useful and you've got some new ideas about how CPD and that targeted learning can support your organisation and your people. If you'd like to continue the conversation, as I've said, please do get in touch. We'd love to hear any feedback you have, any questions or ideas. And as I've mentioned there, the QR code on that screen, if you scan that just now, it will take you directly to our website. So you've got a hot link to that information there. But that's it in terms of the presentation. We'll move on to the Q&A session now. I'll stop sharing my screen. So, hi, I can see your question there. How often are new courses added? We have a lot of courses. So over the last couple of years, we've really built this portfolio up. So I would say that there's continuous additions to the portfolio, particularly the university modules as well. We do tend to see an increase of modules being added ahead of the trimesters. So, for example, like September, January, May time. But it's worth just keeping your eye on the website to see if there's any additions. There are also placeholders for modules that may not have confirmed dates right now, but they are scheduled to run at some point over the academic year. And you can always register your interest and we can make sure to note you down so that when there is more information on a course that isn't confirmed as of yet, we can get in touch with you. So for the university modules in particular, I'm thinking about this in mind with the skills scholarships, if that may be of interest. The applications are done by the individual, so they can apply individually for that same module and they'd more than likely be on that same course. If you're asking more about the non-credit bearing courses, that's something we can have a discussion about and really find out what it is that you want to help them study on, and we can take that a step further. Not a problem at all. Thank you very much. I know it's close to lunchtime, so I appreciate you giving us your time. If anyone else has any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Oh, hi, Laura. Sorry, I never seen your message pop up there. In terms of AI, I believe we do have one module just now. Suzanne, you can correct me if I'm wrong in terms of the AI, but it's something that we are continually looking to add to. Something that we can definitely continue a conversation about if that's something that's a particular focus for your organisation. There's always, as I touched on there, the opportunity to develop bespoke courses as well. So if it's something that's of interest, we can always work with you on that. But I can see that Suzanne's put a link in there to the AI for project managers, so that may be something that's of interest to you. Great, thanks. I can see a couple of other messages as well. Thank you for joining along. And Sarah, I can see you'll be in touch about courses. We look forward to that, and just let us know if you have any questions. We'll keep the Q&A session open for a little bit longer just to see if there's any other questions. But if you don't get a chance to ask your question, or if you don't feel comfortable asking in a forum like this, just get in touch afterwards. We will be sending out the slide deck from the webinar to everyone that's attended as well, so you'll have that information at hand. Looks like that might be it for the Q&A just now, unless there's any last minute additions before we wrap that up. Okay, well, I think that's us in terms of the Q&A then. Thank you very much, everyone who's came along. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.